What's up, folks? How's everybody doing? There's a couple of us in chat. Hope you're having a good week so far. I'm just a crazy man, so I've been go again all day. I don't know what's up. I hope everybody's having a good one. As people roll in, we'll just see what the night brings. I'll probably start about midnight, or between 11:30 and midnight. I got to get up in the morning and start all over again. And hopefully I sleep tonight. I was go all night last night. Other than that, we're going to have just a chill night. Hey, Riley, how you doing, sir? How you doing? And that's it. We'll enjoy the evening, talk about a few things. Whatever pops up. I'm just going to go with the flow tonight. Maybe sneak in some scary, spooky stuff. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, I hope everybody is well as you come in. Make sure you say hi and leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Gemma is quite a lady. She's worth the effort to watch. We'll be here on Friday nights at 7:15 for oracles. I'm just a list keeper, so I don't say a whole lot. This is my time to talk for at the moment. And then I'll be here again for Jimmy's Written Plays on Saturday night at 10 o'clock. Starting to feel a little more human now, so maybe I'll go back to my midnights here in a couple more weeks. We'll see how things go. How was your day? It wasn't too bad. I've been not really trying to fix some things in the house, get ready for summer. To me, it's fun. I don't mind staying busy. I'm a workaholic, so, and since they kind of took my work away from me, I try to do as much as I can around here. That and the fact that I am the cook, the chauffeur, the butler, and everything else in between. So, yeah, I stay pretty busy. That's why I haven't really been able to do any more TikToks. I want to do an update on my model, but I got to sit down and finish it. And it's just been crazy. I'm trying to get stuff done, the house reorganized. Got to redo my room. You're going to slowly see some things disappear. I'm getting tired of dusting. I saw that. It's not doing much here. It actually was a nice day, a little cool. And tomorrow, supposed to warm up. And then Friday, we warm up. And then a cold front moves in Saturday, and then we kind of cool back off again. But it's Ohio. Just like anything from Ohio over, Indiana. Our weather's kind of bipolar. We'll discuss the defensive drones. Oh, Latra, I meant to thank you for coming in. I thought you'd be gone. Just watch what you say, because we're having some problems, and we don't know why. So, just letting you know, folks, it's everybody. That'd be a good conversation. We're off a couple 100-meter fiber optic wires so they can be jammed. There you go. But yeah, just watch what you say. I'm surprised you got away with that much. They've actually been blocking people's chat. Let me see if it showed up, because I'm not even in chat yet, which is unusual. Sometimes it will show up in mine. It showed up in chat. So you must be good there. So, but yeah, they were actually hiding comments, though. You know, not showing them in YouTube. So just be aware, folks. If you don't see it, if you see it on your computer, doesn't necessarily. I'll try to say something. I try to say something. You know, when somebody's comment, because you'll see it because you typed it in there, but nobody else may see it, and you may go, "Why is nobody responding?" So yeah. So what time's your interview start? What time you going on? 10:30. I mean, yeah, 10:30. So it's a little off 10 now. I don't know what time it is there in Texas. So you're what? 2 hours behind? 3 hours behind? 2 hours behind? 2 or 3 hours behind? Right? One of those two. But yeah, YouTube's getting weird with everybody because everybody's starting to speak them. And I don't want to hurt Gemma's channel anymore because we still can't figure out what happened when I got the Dolans. Was it Gemma's replays 2 weeks ago. 9:05. Yeah, so you're 2 hours behind. You're an hour behind? Wait, no way. Now not. Yeah, you're an hour behind. That's what. Yeah, that'd be right. It depends on where you're located, but yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're an hour behind. So what are you going on at 10? Or 9:30 or something? That'd be a good, interesting conversation. I always enjoy those kind of conversations. But yeah, hopefully some more people can wander in. We'll have a better conversation. I'm trying. It's like I said, it's hard sometimes by yourself, and I'm trying to keep up with chat, but chat's barely moving, so that's good. Riley, I don't know what we're expecting here in weather next few months, but it could get crazy anytime. So, but it's not uncommon for you guys still to have snow and cold, right? You guys are pretty typical to have these on and off, a little more bipolar than us. But yeah, get back to weather. No, we're supposed to be beautiful. We're due to get storms Friday, but we were supposed to get the storms the other day, and we didn't get nothing. It literally rode the Interstate 70 line and stayed south because it literally almost divides this state. Yeah. Well, see, her grandparents, my ex, her grandparents lived in Estes Park, Colorado. So yeah, I hung out in Stanley and stuff on our honeymoon. Every time we went back, I always hung out there. Pretty cool place. Anyways, their winters lasted, it seemed like forever. So yeah, I can imagine. And they're probably in no different situation till May. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are going to have some really good temperatures, but just watch. You guys are supposed to get some really good storms the next couple of days too. So just be aware. Latro. It's supposed to get crazy out there, especially south of us. Now we got lucky because some of those storms that came through southern Ohio were pretty wicked. I don't think there were any tornadoes. I didn't hear any, but man, there was some hail. Man, there was some pretty major wind, I guess. So yeah. So just be aware, stay alert. I know you do. So, and I know Texas gets crazy weather too. Did errands. Yeah, I was running out of this house all day. Was yesterday too. It's a little crazy. Got so much to do. And it seemed like the fire just added more projects when we had the fire a few years back. And it's just been nuts ever since. Well, it made us aware of a lot of other problems that we had to fix. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Other than that, I've been trying to stay away from the stores and stuff because of it's been nuts because of the craziness that's going on in this world. The things that follow people have become prominent again, and I'm starting to get a little worried again because it's becoming a nightmare sometimes to go out in public. It's like I went and got drywall and stuff yesterday, and I literally kept my head down. It seemed like everybody I saw had a problem. Then there was a couple people that seemed to have something guardian-like over them, but the good is few between the craziness that follows the people. So yeah, better than to have storms, having storm tornadoes. Tornadoes are crazy. I've lived through one. I followed them for a while. They didn't know. When I turned 17, I lived with my brother. Not for just because I was able to, and went to high school. I wrote my own notes. I was 18 in senior year, but yeah, that's what I did from 17, 18. The summers when I was 17, 18, 19, and 20. 2 months of the summer during the tornado season. I was working with storm chasers, tornado chasers. Nobody knew. I would be gone for 2 days. Everybody thought I was just working. It was fun. There's things I haven't told him yet. Someday. He's 92. He's getting ready to turn 92. I might tell him someday. But yeah. The Twisters, is that the new one? Because the original one's really good. I like the original. Not, it's a fun movie, but it's got some, it's crazy. But I haven't seen the new one yet. I would like to see it. I know it's on, so I could watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm afraid it's going to ruin the original for me. It's okay. That's what my son said. He said he liked it too. He said I needed to check it out because he liked the original too. So maybe I will watch it. Yeah, it was filmed in Oak. It was actually filmed all over that area. I think they did a little in Texas, all along that tornado belt. So they actually used the tornado belt in the areas around there to film. So yeah, from what I understand. The dog's following everybody around. There's a plenty of great horror movies out right now. Now, I'm patiently waiting for I'm waiting for the Aliens and the Predator movies to come out. I finally sat down and watched Romulus. If you like the Alien movies, Romulus was really good. A lot better than I thought it would be. It was really good. See, if you want older movies, no, that's for new movies right now. Romulus, I really enjoyed. If you haven't seen Prey yet, that's good. That's a good one. Of course, Godzilla, -1. And I consider that a horror movie because that movie is pretty. It's kind of dark. Let's see. And that's about it. I haven't been out and about really and looked around. I'm a classics guy. It depends on what you're looking for. I can give you some suggestions. The Exorcist movies with Russell Crowe were kind of I was not really impressed. Let's see. Actually, hold on. Scariest one, if you haven't seen The Exorcist, I suggest you sit down and watch it. There's more to that movie than people realize. The Exorcist to me is probably one of the scariest movies out there, especially if you've never seen it. And if you find it, see if you can find the director's cut, because that's really where it really shows you what this movie's really about, and it really gets to you. I would say extra scary movies. The Nest is kind of creepy, but I wouldn't call it scary. Man, haven't seen it yet. Yeah, if you've never seen The Exorcist, just do yourself a favor. Be prepared. It's not like gruesome or anything, but it deals with it. The way it goes down can mess you up a little bit. It's based on the book. In the book, it was based on the boy, which is still, the story is still kind of, but actually the story is interesting. The actual story is interesting about the boy. They made it a girl, I think, to make it more dramatic in the movie. But the book, if you haven't read the book, read the book. I mean, even reading the book put me on edge. And especially with the things I see. See what else. See, because I don't get scared much anymore. I mean, it takes a lot to scare me. Now, I found Sinister 1 and 2 to be disturbing because there are entities. It's based on an actual demon. I think they changed the name, but I'm not sure. That movie, Sinister, is pretty intense. I thought, I'm trying to think of the name. Hold on, I'm trying to think of a name. The movie's at the tip of my tongue, and Sinister, and there was one other one. Sinister just creeps you out because it makes you look at kids a whole different way. Is it based on a real events? Excuse me. Yes, The Exorcist is based on real events with a boy. But the events in the movie are a little bit more extreme, for a touch, but pretty close. Some weird stuff happened with that kid. The book, I would suggest, if you want to really know, the book stretches it out, but it is based on real events. The book kind of leans more to the realistic version of it, but the book is way more intense than the movie. But the movie itself is really intense, and the fact that you got the visuals, it just switched things up, changed a few things to make it more dramatic. But the book is dramatic already, and if they would have done the book, they probably wouldn't have been able to move. They stuck to the book. So yeah. That was the one movie that I snuck in to see. And when I got home, I kind of regretted doing it because I was seeing things then too. So for like 3 weeks, I was consistently had blinders on. I didn't want to look at anybody because I didn't want to see. And yeah. So yeah, it messed with me a little bit. Probably one of the rare movies that actually did. Sinister did to me too, only because of the events that play in it and the logic of it, because that movie could be real, very real, could be easily based on true events too. Very easily. I don't know if it is, but that movie can get you because of the way things go down. And part 2 is just as good as part 1. I think they're good together. So if you watch Sinister 1 and 2, you want to watch them together. Exorcist, I always say it's the scariest movie I've ever seen because it was the one that probably bothered me the most. Most other movies, Sinister, there's some movies that kind of, but yeah, I mean, I've seen band movies. I had to sit and watch for, hey Smoochie, how you doing, dear? I watched this one movie that's been banned everywhere, and I did it for somebody because they didn't think they could stomach it. They knew I had a pretty good stomach, so I watched it for him. Then I wrote a review for it, and then he did a review on it on Telegram or somewhere, and basically gave him that movie was messed up, but that's a whole different ballgame, and I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, there's good movies out there. There's plenty of them. I just don't know where to start because when I'm on stream, I can't get it out of my head. I still get nervous. So I can write a list, and when I come back Saturday, I'll read off the list of my scariest movies. After I do a couple Gemma's replay or next Wednesday, God willing. But yeah, if you haven't seen Wendigo yet, Antlers, the movie's called Antlers. If you have not seen that movie, Antlers is a really good movie too. And it's kind of creepy, and it's based on a Wendigo. And it's pretty good. I was really impressed with it. And it kind of sticks with the Indian lore and everything. It's kind of wild. I really liked it. I've actually had Dad watch. He was like, "Well, this movie's wild." He goes, "But yeah, I would check out Antlers. That was a good movie." Let's see. I'm trying to give you some that I personally like. Wendigo scare me like Dogman. My opinion of Dogman is no different than a pig. Now, I know a certain person out there who would probably disagree with me, but to me, Dogman and a werewolf and a Wolfman and all that are kind of the same. Not necessarily because he changed into a man, but I believe they were genetically engineered. Dogman, I think, is actually, if you want to, and I also think if there is a Dogman, it's kind of probably more of a demon. But I don't know. Though right now everything's being held on bay, and we'll see what happens. The curtain's lifting, the veil is lifting and thinning. So, but my opinions on some of these cryptids are a little different than most people's. I mean, I agree with what they are. Like Ryan, I agree with what Ryan says because Ryan's got it down. He knows that stuff, but and a couple other people are really good about that stuff. But there's also a lot of false information out there too. People that really don't really understand the process of these. People don't understand the skinwalker has to be around the seven sacred mountains and all that. And, they have to be in certain areas. It's where the magic is the strongest for that kind of thing. But there's a dark magic around those places, around these mountains. I might find the most interesting. I'm still a Bigfoot guy, but everybody's into it. Usually I'm the guy when everybody starts, it's like zombies. When zombies was big, I was already getting sick of them. So it's not that I'm sick of Bigfoot. It's just there's so many people out there that have seen it. And then you got these people just trying to, I'm not talking about people streaming and stuff, but these pictures and stuff, there are so many fakes out there. AI is getting so much better. Yes, Ryan is very knowledgeable, and that's because he went out in the field. He talked to the tribes. He's talked to the people who created these religion. These, that these legends belong to that are just, you know what I'm saying. I'm not talking. So yeah, he's been out there. He's talked to these people. He's talked to the elders. It's the same thing with Wendigos. A Wendigo, I believe, can be anywhere. But a Wendigo is, to me, a demon that possesses somebody, especially somebody who has reverted to a more evil way, cannibalistic way, as one might say. What are the thoughts on people talking? Now, see, this is a subject that telepathics are an interesting subject because everybody tries to prove it. I've seen it, so I'm still confused. Mr. Nightmare, welcome. It's good to see you. And I've witnessed people, communicate. I have friends that are twins. These two talk to each other all the time without really talking. And it's really weird. I mean, they can be in other rooms and they seem to know what each other's thinking and stuff. So they're that connected. So I think that is possible. If you have a strong bond or a strong connection with somebody, you could probably do it. With the Dogman and Bigfoot, I don't know yet. A lot of people claim they have, but I'm not going to deny those claims because I'm not an expert in that field. But I've witnessed some pretty wild stuff, so I'm kind of on the fence still on it. I don't like making a one way or another comment on that because anything's possible. This world is really an amazing place. We are amazing people, and the things around us are a lot more amazing than people realize. So, this is a supernatural world. And if people don't want to believe it or not, a very, very supernatural being created it. That's making this a very supernatural world. So there are things that we haven't even seen yet. Come on, Kawasaki, sell me a. How can be sure the Bigfoot's not some other entity? A lot of remote viewers online these days. Yes, there is a lot of them. And I'm not going to vouch that they're fake or not because I don't know. I'm not going to call somebody out. There are a couple that I probably would if I had more evidence, but I don't pay attention to that stuff enough. But remote viewing is an interesting subject. Now, I do believe that remote viewing is very possible when done right. And you might be surprised that just about anybody could do it, but it takes a lot of practice, a lot of thought, a lot of patience. As for Bigfoot, the Bigfoot's always been here, I believe. And I actually believe he's part of the Nephilim. You know, everybody you say Nephilim and everybody's automatically assumes giants, but you know, not all these giants were big, huge. There were some messed up creatures during those times, and the chimeras and all that. You know, anything's possible. But personally, I think Bigfoot is a lot more like us than we realize. They hide and they're just good at hiding. And they may even, some people say these are interdimensional beings, which could be possible. Who knows? Until I start seeing a little more proof and I sit down and really study that stuff. But there's only a few cryptids I ever really studied. And I didn't study that long, because when I started studying cryptids, I fell into the rabbit hole of angels and demons. So I kind of went in that direction. But I can guarantee you these cryptids, they may have been genetic, some of them may have been genetically engineered, but until you see one and are able to study it, they're not going to know. And if they have done that, they're not going to tell you. I do believe that a lot of certain times of the years when fires happen, I think it's them looking for them. I think they, in some places, are trying to burn them out and try to catch them. And who's to say they happened already? I know I'm a squatch drug. You're silly. Just be careful, Smoochie, okay? Because we're having a lot of problems with YouTubes. So you're good. You haven't said anything bad, but just be careful because we are having problems. Hey, Real Truth, what's up? I don't know much. I'm just gabbing. I hope you're good. But yeah, you're good, Smoochie. And I thought that was cute, actually, but you're not that. You're not that at all, by any means. Dogmen are Bigfoot's pets. Get it right. Actually, that's like werewolves were always meant to be, well, in some lore, as vampires protectors. Werewolves are vampire protectors. And then in other lore, they're a whole different entity. Lycans. That's why I kind of like the movie Underworld. I kind of like that theory that they were separate at one time and somehow they made a pact. So have you ever seen, so those who have never seen all the Underworlds, they're good movies. There's some that are kind of, but I liked them. It was kind of a neat idea. Especially in the third one where they kind of go back in time and show you kind of the war and that was going on. But yeah, that's me. Like I said, I didn't come prepared because I've been so busy. This is the way it's been the last few weeks. It's going to probably be like that for a little bit longer until everything settles down. I'd like to make this more true to its name, spooky time. So, my main subject has always been the things that go bump in the night. Shadows, Hat Man, which is basically the same thing. Nah, they're different. Shadow Man, the Shadow People, Hat Man, Demonology, which I'm still learning. That's a ever-ending process. The good, the angels. There's a lot of lore in that. But yeah, there's one that caught my attention a few years back where people were seeing like Stickman, like the Stickman you draw, but there are people out there have witnessed such a being, and it always kind of freaked me out. So I always trying to learn more about that one and see what stirred that up. The rake I call him the rake. I kind of not call him a rake. The rakes are pretty much the same as a pale crawler. In fact, they probably are the same. Because the thing is, to me, I don't know what else to call them because they're not like pale crawlers in a way. They look a lot like there's differences. Rakes have actually been seen in the day, where pale crawlers are usually a night thing. Then the rake name came from a creepypasta, but it fit what I saw. And I've seen these things in the daytime. Where a pale crawler, they're a little different, and they seem to like the night, and they always hang around water and caves or deep, dark, damp places. Have a good one, Nightmare. Take care of yourself. Have a good Easter weekend if I don't see you Friday night or over the weekend, okay? So, those who celebrate, and if I don't see you over the weekend, have a wonderful Easter week. Your youngest will be 40 tomorrow. 40 or 4. You wish they were 4 again. My youngest turns 32 in September, a week after me. 7 days after me, in fact. You're 32? Really? You're the same age? My son is 31, but yeah, he turns 32 this year. Wow, Riley, I didn't think you were that young. Hello. You're the one that had the grandfather that went into Naha. Forgive me if I screw the name up. It's like I used to speak Japanese. I can't even speak it anymore. I screw it up. It's so bad. Plus, I got a friend that's trying to reteach me. So help me because of the ever-changing vocal problems I have. Yeah. Have you ever thought about writing a book? Or, I'd still like to have you on and talk about it one night too. I want to get Juan, now that he's back. I want to get him on. He wants to tell his Chewy story, and I heard it's a great story, and I haven't heard it all. I think I've heard parts of it, but I didn't know what it was. So now I want to hear the whole story. Your great-grandfather. Great-grandfather, yeah. Yeah, I have you ever dug into that and tried to find any information? I think we discussed that one night before with Ryan. Ryan's around. I know he shows up here and there. He's trying to finish his books. That I do. Oh, excuse me. I'm hoping to meet up. Oh, excuse me again. I had spaghetti for dinner because I had a rush dinner. Me and him are supposed to hook up tomorrow and talk. So hopefully I can fill you in, or he'll pop in. He came in one night, and he might be watching or listening. He wanders around a lot. I know he's busy. But yeah, what I know about the Nahi Valley is very little. only some of the stories and some of the craziness comes out of there. How people go in and don't come back out. I will. My sister has done a lot of research and talked with local Dane. She knows a lot more than me. You guys should get together and, put a book out. I bet that's an interesting story. I bet that's a very interesting story. And I bet it's so, because it gets talked about, but not a whole lot. Now, I know a lot of you, I don't know if a lot of you know that Kevin Costner went out and did Yellowstone and Grand. He did all these ventures into these places, and he said there was a couple places where he had to have permission to go into. My curiosity is, in the commercials, they make it all lovely and nice, and you go visit these places. But I wonder how many encounters they actually had, because you got to admit, they probably had encounters in some of these places. They've had to heard or see something. Then again, it also depends on how big the film crew is and everything that was with him, because I know they try to keep it as light as possible. And that goes for, has anybody seen the Survivor Man stories where, Survivor Man would go out and survive? It was a great show. And then he finally started admitting that he was having some spooky nights with things that are banging on trees and Bigfoot. And he finally did a show, talking about some of the craziness that went on. And he'd go back to those places and started actually looking for Bigfoot, because it finally convinced him, because I don't think he was a believer at first. She doesn't share much with me. She has got some old pics. I need her to give me more info. Interesting. You got a little rivalry going. I have I had 3 other I got 2 older brothers and a younger brother. Rest in peace, Kevin. We have a little bit we get into that where we're trying to get information from each other. It don't always work out. Good luck with that. Let me know if she gives in to you. But I would consider it. Nahi Valley is an interesting thing. Interesting place. So if you want to come on and talk about it, just let me know. My email's out there. You can catch me here one night, and we'll set up a time. You can come on and talk about it. I'd love to have you. And like I said, I'd like to get on Juan, because I do want to hear his Chewy story, and he's really excited about coming in and telling it. I'm a little worried about some of the ladies. Vixen hasn't popped in yet. And I haven't seen Cindy Lee, but I've seen her moving around on Facebook. Yeah, I have to say something about my ladies. So forgive me, guys. Edna and I go way back. Vixen, pretty far too, when she was under her other name. So when I don't see them, I worry about them and make sure they're okay. I hope Edna's good. I know she's been hurt a lot lately, so I'll have to check in on her. That's 3 times I haven't seen her, so I'll have to yell, Edna, where are you, woman? But I'm not advertising on. I waited to the last minute I wouldn't say promote this stream on Facebook, because a lot of times I don't even know if anybody looks at my stuff. So I know a few people do. But yeah, I waited till like 15 minutes before I came on and dumped a little promo. I know a lot of people are missing Gemma because she's only being here now on Fridays. Hopefully on the 29th of Tuesday, we still are right now, as far as I know, are planning to start Tuesday talks at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, paranormal talks. And we're going to try to keep that hour or so strictly paranormal. Keep it good doing. Keep doing it. I plan on it. if anything changes, I'll probably just start my own channel or go over to Rumble. A lot of things I like to talk about is hard to talk about here on YouTube because I wouldn't get in their algorithm. And that's the key. That's why we're trying to be careful now here, is keeping her an algorithm, because I'm telling you, a lot of small channels are having a hard time and they're being real picky about what they say, what they do. So, yeah, I mean, and then you just got some bad players out there that doesn't help the situation. And that's anywhere you go, though. Yeah, I was thinking I have a channel on Rumble, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I've got a couple of videos that I want to put on, but I want to go live there since Rumble has seemed to become more of a live streaming platform. I mean, there are a lot of good videos on Rumble. So, you know, if you know friends that and people out there posting on Rumble, a lot of people will post the same thing they post on YouTube on Rumble, but they'll put in the stuff they couldn't say on YouTube on Rumble. So back into it. What they'll do is they'll publish it on Rumble. They'll publish it on YouTube. Then before they put it on Rumble, they'll put the stuff that they couldn't say on YouTube on Rumble, because it is a little more, a little more free on Rumble. And I'm not knocking YouTube, because I've been with YouTube since the beginning. I think the only time that I really didn't follow YouTube was probably when my kids were young and I was married. I would still get on it when I couldn't sleep. I'd get on and check out the videos and stuff, but it wasn't like I was on it all the time. Then when I got divorced, I pretty much went right back to watching YouTube almost all the time when I wasn't working. And then when they took my job away from me because of my health, well, because of my Tourette's, my movement disorder, I kind of, and then running into Sean. The only reason I'm even on stream, I have to thank Gemma and Sean. Sean was the one, Sean G from Chasing the Truth, and two young ladies. If it wasn't for those three people, I probably would. And I was doing phone calls with him on air. And then Gemma, and then I got to talking to Gemma. She did a reading for me one time. So we were talking anyways in chat, and she seemed to worry when I went around. But she did a reading for me, was, other than a couple small things, was pretty much dead on. She couldn't believe so instead of sending her an email, I was having a busy week and the tremors get bad off and on. So I sent her an email, and in that email I sent her a video instead of typing a letter. And she freaked out. She had never had anybody send her a video saying, hey, this is the read. I really appreciate the reading, blah, 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 blah. And we've been talking ever since. And then she got me on that night on Spaced Out Radio, because the other two, her other hosts were not going to be there, and she didn't want to do the show alone. She asked me to come on. And then I ended up doing the show pretty much alone, because then she had technical trouble. But it was a good time. And this is therapy, but I'm not a streaming person, but I enjoy it. I still get nervous and I get tongue-tied, and the Tourette's and the movement kind of screw me up when I talk. So it's like, I can't, because there's a lot up here. Believe me, there's tons up here. I because I couldn't work anymore, I started doing research, because it's what I really love to do. I love getting, into the books. And if I'm not working outside or doing something physically, I'm reading, learning, constantly filling my head full of crap that I can never get back out some days. And then when it comes out, it's so unexpected. Gonna doze off for the night. You have a wonderful night too, Riley. Take care of yourself. And hopefully we'll see you Friday night and possibly Saturday night. And if I don't, you have a wonderful Easter weekend. Enjoy the beauty of the world, because it is still beautiful. People may be a little crazy right now, but it's still beautiful. So have a wonderful one. Have a good sleep there, bud. Everybody's got something. It's been a long week. A lot of going on. It's wearing people down. I worry about a lot of people because it's just so crazy. I got to worry about myself after I got sick. But I bounce back. Pretty soon I won't have to have the air compressor around anymore. That'll be a good thing. So anybody got anything to say? Anything they want to hear? Or love to have, a topic, discussion. Everybody's going to bed. I get it. It's a weeknight. What time we got? 10:46. If it kind of stays like this, I'll just call it at 11 and we'll have a nice, quiet Wednesday night. Still here, just listening. Oh, you're good, Latra. When are you going to go? Are you doing double takes on? I appreciate it, Latra. I heard Squatch loved older women. Probably true. There was an interesting thing I saw the other day where there's apparently a couple Squatch, Bigfoot, whatever, your choice of names, actually saved 2 children or a child. That I would kind of believe. I don't think they would mess with a child. I don't think these missing children and stuff in the woods, I don't think that's Bigfoot. I honestly don't. I think that's something else. Something not good. Because I don't think that's Bigfoot. But I don't think we should automatically assume that Bigfoot's good. But then again, you hear about the Alaskan incident there at the island off Alaska where they literally deserted the town because they were tearing people up. Clicking around Amazon. I have a habit of doing that too. What do you think of the possibility the chopper in the Hudson Bay hit a cloaked UFO? That is an interesting thing you brought up because I kind of think something weird went there because it just falls out of the sky. And they're trying to cover something up, which is highly possible because there's a lot of weird stuff right now going on around the Hudson Bay in the New York area and along that whole East Coast. Things are getting weird along all the coastlines, and I don't think people are really paying attention along the coastlines like they should. But you got to watch the videos you see now. Now that's legit. I actually think that it's possible. I've seen the footage a few times, actually a lot, and something's not right. But I also have this weird thing about something is trying to keep us out of the skies. And that's why all of a sudden, we've had, they tried to make it off as, plane accidents happen all the time. Not like this. Not like this. Not all of a sudden everything's, every couple of days we're hearing weird stuff. If it's not happening before they take off, after they come in, it's in the air. Something's going on. But we also know that the sun has been super active and a lot of, solar flares. So I don't know, but I do know this, that crash, there's something sus about it. Very sus. Remember how every time I would ask Gemma, yeah, we still look. I even, Smoochy, when I get on and on Amazon and go through stuff, because I always, every so often, like to see if I find a deck of cards that she might like, because I'm really picky. I always look. I go in the stores around here. There's a few of those places around here, and I always look for a Squatch deck or some kind of a cryptid deck. Now, if I could sit down and do the art, I would do the art for her. I'm not a great artist, but I think I could put it to work. She says she would create one in my honor. Do that for me, please. A Scotch Jack. I'd like to see that happen, Smoochie. Maybe someday it will. Maybe soon. Who knows? She's got a lot of changes going on. Sun today on the horizon looked violent. I don't know. A lot of people knew yesterday about a rather large, it looked like a rather large comet collided into the sun. And right after it hit, it threw off, I think they were categorized as an X2 or 3 flare. I mean, this sucker was big. Whatever hit it was big and actually caused a valley. I mean, if you go and look at the sun, if you go to Mr. MBB3's channel, you'll see it. Something hit the sun, and you'll see. He shows you the sun. We have a camera out there that shows the thing, and man, it just right at us. And I can imagine if we didn't have clouds last night, last night, we probably would have saw the lights for sure, easily, because it was a big one and it lasted a while. Yeah, splat. A lot of people think they burn up when they hit the sun. You know, these things actually make it sometimes all the way to the sun. And this thing had to have been huge because you can, as soon as it disappears, see, there's a thing that actually covers the inside of the sun so that it doesn't blow out the camera and you see the flares. And I'll tell you what, it goes behind that thing, and next thing you know, you see a boom. And it's like, holy crap, that thing had to have been big. I have a squad call. I created son-in-law, freaked out when I did. He said, oh, do you want them to come? He was sick. I don't know. But, you know, here's my thing about that. People trying to befriend these things. I kind of think of them kind of still as a wild animal because, you know, they hide from us for a reason. And I don't know if I'd want, I would like to see one. What I saw a while back ago, I can't say for sure if it's a Squatch. As far as I can, know, it could have been a big guy in a gunny suit illegally hunting turkeys out where I was at that week. And actually, I'm getting ready to go. We're talking about going back down there for a birthday party, and I might get that same cabin. I hope I see it again, and maybe this time catch it. It moved so fast I couldn't even follow it down the hill because I did try to chase it. It was gone. I mean, it cut across the area I was looking at from clearing. By the time I realized it was something coming, it was already going down the hill. And at night, it was just about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So it was mid-fall. So the sun was already down. What about the flashing LED light mystery we see on some channels? Oh, it's not just LED lights though. There are regular light bulbs flashing. Mr. MBB's been actually putting them and tagging where they're happening at. He's got them all over. It's happening all over the world. And it's just not LED lights. I've seen regular light bulbs doing this too. But But if you watch the flash, and if you sit and watch these videos long enough, to me, it almost looks like Morse code or some kind of code, the way they flash. They seem to be, there seems to be some kind of weird purpose to it, if you get what I'm saying. Because I've seen a ton of these, a ton of these videos. And to me, it's just, I ever wondered if anybody tried to sit down and watch a set of this and see if they could pull Morse code out of it. Or some kind of code. Because some of these lights, the way they flicker and the way they act, it's like somebody sending Morse code. We have turkeys in the backyard at family home, far east of Cleveland. Did you see the video of the turkeys walking around the tombstone? There's like 3 turkeys, and they're just walking around this tombstone. I think the name is Harris. Actually, it looked like our cemetery, the way it was set up, the cemetery was set up. I actually thought it was the cemetery down here, but I've never seen any turkeys around here. But it's crazy. The guy goes, I think I'm going to go now. I'm going to get the hell out of here. And he leaves. It's creepy. Turkeys are interesting animals. I've seen videos where the cat had been hit on the road, and the turkeys were actually circling it. It was weird. You're going camping near Mount Adams. That's my mountain where, oh, okay. I've seen the flashing in Walmart a lot. They fixed them. Yeah, a lot of that's just a connection. And I love that. A lot of it's just they are weird. Turkeys are weird. So are peacocks. Peacocks are weird like turkeys. Now, I don't know if I've talked about this. I think I have. That weekend during the time I was going through surgery on my throat, and I took a break and went and stayed down at a friend owns cabins down in Logan, Ohio. That I've gotten reacquainted with. We were good work buddies back in the Bonanza Ponderosa days. And he's going to party soon. So I'm hoping every couple of years he has a big party for his birthday. And he keeps a couple cabins. He keeps like 3 cabins. A bunch of us get together. Oh, and he gives me my own cabin because everybody knows what I'm like at night and during the day when I get antsy. So he kind of gives me my own cabin. But that was the cabin I was in last time. And he actually has cable out there. The reception on a phone, he has a cable and internet out there. But phone reception out there is crap. You literally have to go to high ground to get a good signal. And you're kind of down in the valley. But anyways, I'm playing around. In fact, I think I just gotten off watching Gemma do oracles. And I was chilling out. And all of a sudden you could hear those peacocks just going off. They sound like babies crying. And I'm mad. And I go, where's that coming from? Because it was loud. It was a bunch of them. I opened the door to my cabin and look out, and there's like 10 of them. I had a clearing in front of the yard. There's a porch, and then there's clearing, and then it's all woods. And then I'm driving, comes up to the side. The whatever it was I saw ran from this corner to the down, and if you go over, there's a hill that kind of goes down, but it's not steep. But once you get on that hill, you tend to end up trucking down it pretty good. But it was open the door, and there's like 10 of these things standing out there. And I go, would you guys just be quiet and go away? And it was funny. They got quiet and they left. I was like, well, thank you. And I went back in. The language, Smoochie, please. I'm going to have to remove. Oh, what happened? Oh. Just be careful, okay? I don't want to get her in trouble. The language has got to be careful. That's all I ask. I don't know. Turkeys taste good to me. I will say that. I like turkeys. But I tell you that where I was staying down there, that Logan is just a little north of Athens, Ohio. Athens is a very interesting place too. They're the way the campus and the town is set up is very creepy, because if you look at it above and you start connecting things, it is literally a pentagram. A lot of witchcraft goes on down there. A lot of weird stuff goes on there. The insane asylum down there that's been abandoned is very creepy. I've been in there a number of times. When I went those times, that's one time that I actually asked people not to call out ghosts. I'm not in for that. If you're going to ghost hunt, you shouldn't be calling them out. You just set up your cameras and be patient. Let things happen naturally. Thank you, Smoochie. I just don't want to get her in trouble. You didn't have to delete the rest of it, just the one with the... But, I mean, we say worse. I don't know why they've gotten so picky on us. I mean, I actually got a Dolan's, and we still don't know why I got a yellow Dolan's. If anybody wonders, yellow Dolan's is a yellow dollar sign. So it means it's been... The stream just doesn't get commercials. It's just get view revenue, and then YouTube still takes half of it. So you're lucky to make a couple bucks on it. Oh, the SH word, Smoochie, you're good. I figured you knew. It's all right. Don't worry about it, hon. It's like Jimmy says, just be careful. We love you. We all slip. Believe me, I've slipped a few times on here, and I'm surprised that we didn't get in trouble. It's amazing because I know streamers that cuss and carry on, but they make them tons of money because they get tons of views. Yes, and they get away with it, but that's like Salty. He cusses all the time. I don't want to get political, but he cusses all the time. I love Salty. He speaks a lot of people's minds, but I don't. We say a cuss word and it's like I'm in trouble for days. So yeah, I just don't push it. And this is not my channel, and I respect Gemma too much to let it get. I've already had a couple issues on my streams. She's even had one, so we're not gonna push her luck. She's getting ready to make some changes anyways, I believe. So she still wants to keep certain things going, but I think she's ready for a change, a little growth. And I'm good with that, with or without me. She knows I'm here to help either way. So, gosh darn, yeah, I know. It's like fickle frackle. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. Sure. The things you can say on YouTube, but we'll probably still get in trouble for it because they know what you're trying to say. I don't. It cracks me up anymore. And used to watch what has happened with YouTube over a lot of people say it was around the Coof time, but it started happening way before that. I would say over the last 10 years, I personally think YouTube wants to go more commercial, like a television channel. I declare. Yeah. And I love YouTube, man. Like I said, I've been with YouTube, following YouTube since the beginnings. I always managed to stay somewhat caught up with the people I did follow and all that over the years. It's like I tell people, you have to check your subscriptions because they do. They go in and clean house. I don't know how many favorite my channels I've gone back to, and why am I not subscribed to them anymore? And then I knew that YouTube did their cleaning. What they say is they say they're bots. That what do you expect from foreigner billionaires? Yeah, I know. That's like TikTok. I got on TikTok, but Gemma, I've made a few videos, a couple videos, little shorts. I didn't mind it. My my Godzilla model seemed, and me talking on working on my Godzilla model seemed to get most views, and one view where I was having an interesting day and I spoke my mind, and that got quite a few views. But the scammers on TikTok is just insane. And I was on it a long time ago and didn't like and got off. I won't do Instagram anymore. I was on that for a while, only because of some guy I was following, trying to, win comic books. And it was just insane. There's a cute. Oh, have you seen her with her little shorts? She actually reminds me of a distant cousin. She was the same way, and she was so sweet. And she, her words and her accent, and the way how she explains Appalachian vocabulary and everything. She's awesome. Yeah, I've seen her quite a bit. I think she's just a doll baby. She reminds me, like I said, of a distant cousin. So yeah. I've seen her. She's a character. That's like the Amish lady too. I like her. Well, she's ex-Amish. She's not really Amish. Well, she's still Amish because she was raised Amish. But she's quite the character too. And to see her come a long way, I mean, that she just took off like a fire. But man, her recipes are dead on. I have done a couple of her recipes. They haven't missed. But it's all just home cooking. The way they cooked. And sure, her personality is just perfect. She doesn't take her eyes off the camera. And everybody complained because it felt like she was staring them down. So when she took her eyes off the camera, everybody was like, oh, man, how come she's not looking at me? So the people that really loved her really spoke up and said, hey, stop, don't do that. That's why we watch you. But yeah, she is. Both those ladies. But yeah, that Appalachian girl, she's a character. I bet she's a real ripper sniper too in real life. She's probably just the sweetest thing you could ever meet. Okay, have a good one, Latra. Enjoy, dude. Thanks for hanging until you leave. I appreciate it, big guy. Must be 11 o'clock. Yep. You have a good one, Latra. I'll see you on the flip side, sir. It's down to 2. Well, I guess I'm going to call it for the night. Smoochie, if you're still here, you have a good night, a good weekend. I hope to see you Friday night. Please take care of yourself. Have a good night. And much love to you and anybody that watches afterwards. And hopefully this picks back up. I'm going to, for those who watch afterwards and watch the replays and actually makes it to the end, since it's only an hour long, there's going to be changes coming. So please stick around and enjoy. I love y'all. Smoochie, have a good night. Thanks for hanging with me till the end. Peace out. Much love. I'll see you guys on the flip side.